you're welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll be drafting the Queen Anne neckline. Okay, this is the pattern drafting tutorial and it's straightforward. So I'll show you how to draft it and how to cut out your drafting. Okay, so please enjoy. So I'll be starting by drafting the basic bodies first. So this is my bust point of 10.5 inches. Then after the bust point, you measure the under bust. Okay, so bust point from your shoulder to the prominent parts of your breast. Okay, then from under bust I'll measure the waistline. Okay, and the waistline also, you can call it the half length or half body, one of those names, but call it the waistline. Okay, then I'll connect the marked points with a straight ruler. Okay, then after this we'll measure the 3 inches for the neck width, then 7.5 inches for my shoulder. So the shoulder now, you come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then you connect it to the 3 inches of the neck width. Okay. Then the armhole, you measure your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. So we use that measurement for the armhole. Then you connect it just this way. So please just watch this video carefully. It's self-explanatory also. So now I need to create this line for the chest line, upper chest line. Okay, so this is the armhole. Then whatever I have here, you divide it by 2. That's from my shoulder slope down to my chest line. They divide it by 2. So I mark the place. Then you come in by 3/4 inch in order to create the armhole curve. As you can see, so this is the armhole curve. I came in by 3/4 inch, that's 0.75 inch. Then I will now measure my bust to bust distance, which is 8 divided by 2. 7.5 divided by 2, that's 3/4. So I mark this on all the lines from the waistline to the under bust and the bust point. Then I'll create a straight line like that. Then coming to my shoulder now, from the neck width to the shoulder, whatever I have, I divided by 2. So, and I mark 2.25. So that means I have 4.5 divided by 2. That's 2.25. Then I connect this to the bust point. Okay. So we'll now go ahead and create. You decide how deep you want your neckline to be from that armhole, the Queen Anne. So it depends on how exposed or tight. So I measure 6 inches. That's from the border, from the end of the paper. I measure 6 inches on that armhole. Okay, so this new line now is the chest line. So I will now use a curve. See the way I place the ruler from that 6 inches down to the chest line. You see? So make sure you place your curve ruler properly in order to achieve this. So that is my Queen Anne's neckline. So now I need to tighten that part. So I'll be measuring 1 inch on both sides of the dart, the darts that run from the shoulder. Then on my waistline too, I measure 1 inch on both sides and also on the under bust. So I'm just trying to label my lines for more clarification. So we'll create our bustier like this. Then from the under bust to the bust point, you use your curved ruler to create a smooth curve. So while doing this, you can be mindful of the numbers on the ruler so that you can use the same thing on the both sides in order to have a perfect curve. Okay, so after connecting this to the bust point, I'll now come up to the Queen Anne's neckline also and use a mild curve to connect it from the neckline to the bust point. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So doing this buste will help us to have a firm neckline. So this is what we have. So if you like, you can extend your neckline more than 3 inches. For the sake of this tutorial, I use 3 inches. So you can make it 3.5 or 4 inches. But advise it shouldn't be too wide in order to achieve the Queen Anne look. Okay, because it's always run from the back of your neck. Now from the last dart where I place the ruler, you connect it to that 3 inches on the neck width. You can see. So that line will run from your neck to the cuff part. And this is what helps us in achieving our Queen Anne's neckline. Then we'll fix in our body measurements now. So the bust circumference that I'll be using divided by 4. So you place it. I'll be using 9.25. Then you measure the dart distance over there, whatever you have on the line. On the dart, you measure is about 5 inch, half inch. So I measure it then 2 inches for my seam allowance. Then come to the waist also. My waist round divided by 4, 7.5 or 7.25. Then add the dart allowance, which is 2 inches, and also 2 inches for seam allowance. Then I'll connect them together with this part of my ruler. I prefer using this side than just the straight line. But you can also use a straight line, depends on what works for you. So this is what we have. Then I'll also create a bust dart. So I came down 1 inch from my bust point, 1 inch down, and connect it this way. So since I'll be removing this dart, I need to add 1 inch to the length of my front dart. Just like this. Okay, then we'll connect it. Remember, this 1 inch extension is because of the dart. So by the time I sew in the dart, it will come back to the actual measurement. So I'll show you how to sew or hold the dart later. So I need to extend the dart, the buste properly to the new length. So let's go on carefully and cut out this pattern. So as you all know, we are going to remove this dart. We'll cut it out. So that's my center front is out. Now go on and remove the dart there. Okay, so please just do this carefully. Note the lines you will cut out and the ones that remain. Okay, then we'll cut out the other side panel. Okay, so this is what we have. So we have 3 pieces for the front, and this upper one is just like the yoke. You can call it the yoke. Okay, so if you like, you can cut it together with the side panel, or you cut it separately. You can cut it together with when cutting the fabric. If it will work for you that way. So as per the bust dart, see the way I'll cut it open. You cut it almost to the edge of this part, but make sure you do not cut it completely open. Then you flip it over. So all we need is just to cover the allowance there. So this one will enhance our cuff. It will make the breast cuff to be more prominent. You can see, since it's not that straight, so it will help us in achieving a perfect cuff or a good cup there. So this is it. This is what we have for the front pattern. You can label it 1, 2, 3, or label the yoke, center, front, and the side panel. So now we'll go on and draft the back. There's actually nothing much with the back. It's just a basic back pattern. So I measure the bust point and the waistline. So we do not need under bust measurement for the back. Now connect it with a straight line. Then I'll measure 1 inch for zipper allowance. 1 inch. If you like, you can make it 1.5. Depends on what you want to use for your zipper, but I use 1 inch for zipper allowance. Then 3 inches for the neck depth. Remember, for the neck width, for the front also I use 3 inches. Then you create your shoulder slope and your armhole. So whatever I have at the shoulder, make sure I transfer it down also to the chest line. That's why I always cross check. So now I'm going to draw my shoulder slope, then draw the armhole also. Then I'll create the chest line. Yes, that's the chest line. Then I'll create this the curve for the back. You can see. So this one I did not come in by 3/4 inch. So for the neck depth for the back, you can use 1 inch or 1.5 for the neck depth. So I use 1.5 for the neck depth. Then 3 inches for the neck width. Then I'll create my dart. It's 3/3 on the waist. Then I came to the chest line, also measure the 3/3. But from the chest line, you come down by 1 inch from chest line. In order to create the back dart, come down by 1 inch. Then I measure 0.5 inches on both sides on the waist in order to achieve this V shape. Then I'll fix in my body measurement plus seam allowance. So there's no dart allowance there. Then on the waist, I'll measure my waist round divided by 4. The dart allowance, which is 1 inch. Then 2 inches for my seam allowance. Then I'll also use this part of my ruler to create this. So now I'll come in by about 3/4 inch from the center back. Okay. Then I'll connect it to the upper part. This is to help me remove any excess bulging from my center back. Since our back is not straight, it's curved. So always remember to remove excess fabric from it in order to have a firm or fitted dress there. So now I just went ahead to still rule out my zipper allowance, 1 inch zipper allowance, as you can see. So that red line is indicating where my zipper allowance is starting from. So instead of the normal straight line, we now have a slanted line like this. So we are going to cut out the excess that is outside. So please, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. And if you found this video helpful, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share your opinion in the comment section, please. And please share this video with your loved ones. So this is what we have for our Queen Anne's pattern drafting. So you go on and cut it out carefully. Subsequently, the sewing tutorial will come up, but let's start with this first. So thank you guys for watching. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you and stay blessed. Bye.